Welcome everyone, warTorn here at the Badlands here in Caledon, Ontario. Decided to do this second video because kind of got called out by Big E the other day, saying I couldn't leave you hanging with just one video. So that being said, here I am. I decided to take on some work from a gentleman who contacted me about a month ago, wanting to surprise his father for Christmas, and with the American Thanksgiving holidays coming up, he wasn't able to dedicate the time to do this work for him. So he decided to contact me, ask very nicely and politely, and here I am showing you what I've done for him. Now, the reason why I'm showing you what I've done for him is to kind of explain to you the hiatus that I've kind of taken from building the flight stands for everyone, because as it sits, I am 12 orders behind. So beginning next week, I'll be fulfilling them once again, and hopefully I'll be able to get all of those orders done and shipped, and hopefully in your hands by Christmas, if you're buying them as Christmas gifts for yourself or another one. So anyway, what I've done for this individual was flags on his capital ships, magnetized his carriers, all of them. There you go. All right, homed into the bottom using the same method I showed you on the other video. So all I did was just create that seat, whether I drilled a hole or just milled it with the end mill bit, and glued that magnet in with the glue that I've previously told you to use. Big E has also advertised it. Now, I used 1/2-inch pins, which you might be able to see there. 1/2-inch pins there. And what that does is it lets me put the pins into the ships and the aircraft carriers and battleships without having to clip the top off. So the top of the pin gets to stay on there and kind of creates that flagpole top of the flags, and just gives it that little bit extra pop. So you can see I had to put the flags in different positions. They're all oriented for directionally oriented right now for the carriers, but it might not be that good for gameplay with the big tactical bombers that you have to put on the carriers. So my recommendation, even though that, you know, this is really specific and accurate, would just to be turn the flag away around like that. So it's right in the middle, and now you can fit a fighter and tactical bomber on either side. So, you know, anyway, that being said, talking about tactical bombers and fighters and whatnot brings me to these guys over here. Now, this is the job, or this is the work that he originally wanted me to do. Now, he inquired about flight stands and flight stands only, and he asked for custom heights, and I was reluctant to do it, especially with being inundated with orders as I was. I kind of got caught up and decided to take on the work for him. Now, trust me, these are all level. It's just the box that they're on, why they're tilted. So you can see the different heights. This one here is 32, or sorry, was 32, but with the work, and I believe in giving credit where credit is due, the flags I used were Sired's Bloods file, and the method I used to put the pins in all the ships were also Sired Bloods. And the custom heights here, a lot of the work was done by G.I. Joe, the research into how high they need to be. Now, that being said, I could not stick to the heights that were discussed in previous videos. This one had to come down to 30.5 millimeters. The middle one is at the 35 that we previously discussed, and the higher one, the bomber, is at 44 millimeters. Now, I know that that might seem pretty high, but as you can see, that is still pretty stable. Right, moving the box across, it'll take a pretty good bump to knock it over, and the reason why we had to shorten it, or I had to shorten it, was because of the jig that I used. Rather than delaying and possibly missing my deadline, I just decided to make the jig with the stuff that I had on hand, and actually it turned out quite nice. A 7 mil difference between each plane is actually a lot nicer. Sorry, did I say 35 for the middle? I meant 37. So 30 and a half, 37 and 44, 7 mil difference is actually quite nice in between each plane. It adds a lot more character to the board, in my opinion. It's probably something that I'm going to end up playing with. Again, I haven't made any flight stands for myself as of yet. It's kind of like the landscaper who doesn't cut his grass, right? Really busy with the orders and trying to catch up to do this work for this individual. And that's the reason why I brought you this video, was because I just wanted to show you why I took the hiatus. To those that are waiting, again, about a dozen of you waiting for me to assemble these. Now I'm hoping, and I should be building them again starting next week, at the beginning of next week. So I think that would be the 3rd or the 4th of December. I may be wrong, but with any luck, I should have them shipped out by mid-December and in everyone's hands by Christmas. Custom heights now available, but they will have to wait until after Christmas. I cannot get you the custom heights prior to Christmas, just with the amount of work that needs to go in. There will be an extra cost for custom heights, and I will be bringing you a 3rd video showing you the process that I need to go through, from raw materials and tools that I need in order to put together these flight stands. I won't take you to the shop where I actually handmade the washers that I use, but I'll be showing you everything else from that point. Stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed. And to the lucky person out there, you know who you are. I really hope that this is what you were looking for. Kindest regards out there, guys. Stay safe.